Fate and fame are very compelling mistresses.
Signs are useless.
Being in Hollywood is like having an eternal three-way with them, and you don't know if they're really just into each other or if they really think that you're a part of what makes the world go round.
This director has accomplished some of the most impressive films.
I'm so excited.
Here,
oh my God,
here he
so
is.
I am so
Here
sorry.
he is.
Thank you for coming.
Dickstein.
Hi, it's good to see everybody. Thank you.
He's just, I'm so thrilled to have you here.
Thanks. Well, let's get started right away. I apologize for being late. I got lost off the freeway. It's a ways up here from LA, but it's good to be back. It's good to be back among film school students.
Well, I started out at USC, which is where everyone said, oh, you're going to make films, you should go to USC. And that wasn't the right fit for me.
You know, when I was young, I had a vision. And that vision was to use film as like a mirror with very rough edges.
I had a job working as a tour guide at Universal Studios, and that really became, I think, my film school. Was working on the lot, working on Quantum Leap, working on episodes of the new Columbo, a little bit on the new Lassie.
I've been a director now for 20 years. It's a long time.
I'm different because I am much more of a intuitive visionary.
And I say to young artists, and I think this is important for you to remember, being an artist means not listening to people who don't say what you want to hear.
You've got to understand what the gaffer does, and you've got to understand what the second AC does, and you've got to understand what the focus puller does, and you've got to understand what the second does, and the first second, and you've got to understand what the associate producer is, because if you're on a set and an associate producer comes up to you and says, hey, you know, I think we're going to have to, you know, sort of not use the crane in the next shot, you've got to know you're an associate producer. I don't talk to you about the crane.
We talk about the auteurs. We talk about the cinemanistas.
I look at them and I think, these kids, they have it so easy with the computers and the digital and the editing and, oh, we'll fix it in post or we'll shoot it again.
What I think would help is if we show you a few clips. See now, when I was young, I wanted a shock. I wanted to sort of punch her through that kind of suburban youth thing that, you know, we weren't seeing in mainstream Hollywood film at the time. And so this movie shocked people. This movie shocked a lot of people at the time. You know, and that was good for the film. I mean, a little shock value that helped sell a few tickets. But I think more because it was speaking to their real terrors about their children, about what was going on in their own suburban, cookie-cutter, Pleasant Valley Sunday backyards. I don't apologize for this movie.
Why would you do that?
It stood the test of time. And then, of course, this is the one that got all the critics howling for sure. And he bends over. Oh, yeah, right there, boy. Yeah.
I was wondering if you could tell us about the Unseemly 2, because the final scene was just like, amazing.
I didn't direct the Unseemly 2, but thank you.
The Unseemly 2 was this, and the Unseemly 3 was this, and you know, none of that is really relevant right now.
Maybe you make the wrong decision. Maybe you make the right decision. I don't know. I mean, you do what you can. You work hard.
I was hoping that there would be more questions about my past before and more questions about my future, and not so many questions about that awkward time in between.
What happens? What happens? You're in Vancouver, Lorenzo Lamas is looking at you, Carmen Electra is looking at you, and she's not that hot in person, and this is not the career that you were supposed to have. Speak to the devil. Yeah, what? No, wait, I'm inside. What, hello? What's going on? What is...
Okay, that was great.